I'm a huge fan of analog horror, stemming back from the Mandela Catalogue to the FNAF VHS tapes that I reviewed not too long ago, even stuff like the back rooms, and I'm just a big fan of analog horror. And in particular, one series that I've discovered recently is called the Walten Files. It's a big inspiration to the FNAF series and the FNAF VHS tape chronologue thing. That's not even a word, but it's developed by Martin Walls, who is an excellent creator, who is well known for his renowned art style and his way of developing a story, and the Walten Files is no exception. It's a really convoluted story which really gets me invested, and it's currently got 3 official tapes. A 4th one is currently in the works as we speak, and I'm really excited to watch that when it does come out, because the story and everything about it is, the best way to describe it is, it's FNAF but without like the map pack game theory lore behind it, basically. So the inspirations are the same. You've got like a family owned restaurant that goes all sorts of batshit crazy. Somebody dies or goes missing, building shuts down, loads of people get murdered and stuffed into suits. It's the exact same concept. However, the Walten Files has a way of describing it as broken people being fixed. So it's not any of this shit in the FNAF series where it's like a serial killer kills kids and the souls happen to entrap themselves in the suits. It's the physical embodiment of actually being stuffed inside of these animatronic suits and seeing the people suffer as they do it, with characters like Susan Woodings, Ashley, Rosemary and Jack Walton being actual human beings that have died, mutilated and debunked, completely like decrypted, absolutely rendered like limbless, motionless even. They become vessels for these suits, and they are still like living and breathing inside these animatronic suits, but the public don't know about it. But there's one scene in particular for me that really adds to the detail that Martin Walls puts into this series, and it's not necessarily a scary scene, it's not anything too gruesome or graphic. The way I see this scene is, it's the panic and the sheer eagerness for things to go right in this series that really drives home the point of, no matter who you are in this series, something bad will happen to you, and that's it. You can't escape it. It's almost like fate has put you in there. It's molding the place for you to belong somewhere in this series. And I'm going to run it through with you. It's a very short scene. Excuse me for coughing if I do. By the way, I've got a little bit of that nasty cold. But it's literally about a minute long, if that. And it involves these 2 guys, Jack Walton on the left, Felix Kranken on the right, who are co-owners of the Bonsburgers restaurant, which the whole series is based off. It's like the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza of this place, if you will. It's like the whole foundation for the events in this. However, I'm going to play the scene out, and then I'm going to explain to you just how it just encapsulates me, and how it really gets to me on a level that not a lot of people will get. So I'm going to run the scene, and then I will come back and let you know my thoughts and exactly what's going on.
You have 25 new messages. Felix, pick up the phone. Now, I need you to pick up the phone. It's been 3 hours since I told you to get Ed and Molly home. What happened to my children? If anything happened, Felix, you must tell me. You haven't told me in 3 hours. I need to know what's going on. I'm trying to call you all night. What the hell is wrong with you? I've been trying to contact you all night. I've been calling everyone for you. Just what the hell is wrong with you? 3 hours, you didn't call. I asked you to do one simple favor for me. I need to know, where are they? Where did you...
So pretty much the whole scene basically entails Jack Walton's desperation to find his 2 children, Ed and Molly, right? Without spoiling too much of the actual story itself and the videos that these feature in, Ed and Molly are basically Jack Walton's 2 youngest children who Felix Kranken drunkenly killed in a car crash. So it's basically setting the tone of Jack Walton slowly deteriorating just before he disappears. This is like days before, if not weeks before he disappears in the story. But I'm not going to spoil too much because you have to watch the series for yourself to understand it. But it's just the tone of Jack's voice. It's like the voice actors did a good job at making him sound desperate but broken at the same time, because he kind of feels like he knows something's gone wrong, because like at the end he's like shouting at Felix, asking like, what's wrong with you? He asked you to do one simple favor and you've messed it up, basically. I find that really intriguing and really puts a new perspective on Jack Walton and just what happened to him. And there's a big theory going around that he is the one who started all of this, Felix Kranken, and he's the one who started this whole chain of events and the madness within, because he killed Ed and Molly. Now, it was by accident, because he just got drunk at a school party and ended up killing both of the kids, burying them without telling Jack Walton. He doesn't pick up the phone, doesn't answer, doesn't do any of that. So it's just that really adrenaline-fueled desperation to try and find out where the children are, and Felix is just not responding, so Jack Walton's a bit passive-aggressive towards him. And the music and the little face that you saw on the side of the screen as well, who is Jack Walton's face, just staring with those blank eyes and that smile on his face, like he wants to mess him up, he wants to bad him up for good, he wants to fuck him up. And I can't really say I blame him, because he's just lost two of his kids, he doesn't even know where they are. But like the music and how it feels like almost like when you're being chased in the chase scene, and the music's like stepping up, like little piano keys and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like you keep pressing the piano keys all the way up to the top. It just feels like you're being running up top of the stairs or something. Really encapsulates the feeling of desperation, and that's really just the unsettling part for me. It's the fact that the music coincides with the dialogue, and the fact that the face appears as well. It's just, it's horror to the point of like, it's realistic horror. It's like, what would you do if you were a mother or father and your two kids have gone missing, and the only person who knows where they are is your family friend who doesn't appear to be answering his phone or anything? Like, what would you do? Because what Jack Walton does is exactly the same thing I would do if I had kids. I'd be screaming my head off at him, like, where are my kids? At least tell me they're safe. But as we know in this series, no one is safe. And if you don't subscribe, you're not safe either. So you better hit that button, and I'll see you in a bit.